Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Marcus Rashford is the latest player to hit out at the European Super League. He recently put a post on. It was a banner and it said football is nothing without fans, and it said Sir Matt Busby underneath. Everybody is against this European Super League, apart from the owners. The owners of clubs want this to go ahead so they can just generate more money. Sky Sports reported out a few hours ago now that 14 Premier League clubs have unanimously rejected the European Super League. Now, Gary Neville and Jurgen Klopp have had a heated argument over the European Super League debate. I'll tell you everything that was said by Klopp and Gary Neville, so I've got it up here. So it says Jurgen Klopp slammed Gary Neville in an impassioned rant after Liverpool's 1-1 draw with Leeds on Monday night, saying he wished the pundit was in a hot seat somewhere. Then it says, speaking post-match, the Reds manager was once again asked about his views on the breakaway European Super League that Liverpool are involved with, responding to Neville's comments on Sunday about Liverpool's owners pretended they're with the club with YNWA and all that. Klopp shot back. That Gary Neville speaks about You'll Never Walk Alone. Obviously Neville's supposedly being critical of the anthem. That at least should be forbidden, said Klopp of the ex-Manchester United player turned Sky Sports pundit, because we have a lot of right to sing that anthem. It's our anthem, it's not his anthem, and he doesn't understand it anyway. Klopp added of the Super League fallout, I don't like it as well, but I don't talk about other clubs, but I wish Gary Neville would be in a hot seat somewhere and not everywhere where the most money is. He was at Man United where the most money is, Sky where the most money is, all these kind of things. Then says Klopp reiterated that and he and his players had nothing to do with the decision to join the Super League, perhaps emphasising that it's easy for someone not in a managerial role like Neville to criticise. So Neville's response in the Sky studio was swift. Why it's not fair, he asked about himself, commenting on Liverpool's anthem. Yesterday was nothing to do with insulting Liverpool Football Club. I don't know why I'm living in his head, to be honest with you. Then further down, I don't know what spiked him. Yesterday was an impassioned plea from me about protecting football in this country. That's my biggest disappointment, what's with Manchester United and Liverpool, so I don't know what this problem is. He talks about a hot seat. I had a 25-year career at Man United, 11-year career at Sky, and I worked hard for that. However, Neville conceded that Klopp and himself actually both viewed the Super League the same way. So Neville and Klopp have agreed that, this European Super League shouldn't go ahead. We're actually on the same page, we're on the same team. So yeah, that was what was said. Now, I spoke with you about Gary Neville this morning. Gary Neville's had a hell of a lot to say regarding this European Super League. He said Gary Neville calls for the Glazer family to sell Manchester United and leave the country. He says the Glazers are scavengers. Gary Neville is fuming over this European Super League, but he says it won't go through, not a chance. Earlier on today, I give you the news on Harry Maguire. It said that Harry Maguire confronted Ed Woodward in a meeting after Man United players were left in the dark over plans for the European Super League. Bruno Fernandes, he's also had his say on this. Woodward, our chairman, as you all know, has resigned from his UEFA senior role. Sky Sports said a few days ago that 12 clubs had agreed to join this new European Super League. Then reports came out, I think it was yesterday, saying that some clubs have quit the European Club Association. Some people think this will happen. I'm very, very sceptical it will happen because the government are doing everything they can to prevent it from happening. It'd be pointless anyway. Obviously, if this did happen, then obviously Champions League would be scrapped. So that's more news on the European Super League and all of that. There's nothing much to update you on. Apart from that, really, no more news on transfers. I've given you an update on that. Obviously, Manchester United do play Leeds United at the weekend. That's our next match. It's 2 o'clock kickoff at Ellen Road on Sunday. You know, it's the War of the Roses. We won our last game against Burnley 3-1. Weren't the best of performances by Manchester United, but we still got the win. Obviously, it was goals from Mason Greenwood. He scored 2, and Edison Cavani scored our 3rd goal, and Burnley's goal came from Tarkowski. From a Burnley perspective, they'd have been disappointed that they didn't get anything out of the game because I thought they were resilient. That's 5 wins in a row now for Manchester United. I can assure we'll finish in the top 4 in the Premier League this season. I think we'll finish 2nd. But mathematically, we can still win the title. We are 8 points behind Manchester City. And Solskjaer said not so long ago that we will never ever give up on the Premier League title. But I think we're too far behind. I think City are going to win it. Leeds, they recently drew 1-1 with Liverpool. From a Leeds perspective, they'd have been very, very happy with the draw. I think Leeds have had a good season to their standards. It's been their first season in the Premier League since 2004, because don't forget Leeds got relegated in 2004 and they was out of the top flight for like 16 years. Obviously last season Leeds won the Championship. That was their first trophy in 28 years. The last time we played at Ellen Road in the Premier League was back in 2004. We've won our last 3 meetings against Leeds. We're beating them 6-2 at Old Trafford earlier on this season. That was the first meeting between Man United and Leeds for like 16 years. And it's one of our best performances of this season. Was the 6-2 against Leeds. The 9-0 against Southampton was also a good performance by Man United. We did beat Leeds in pre-season 4-0 in the summer of 2019. And we're beating them 3-0 at Ellen Road in the League Cup back in 2011. The last time Leeds beat us was in the FA Cup third round back in 2010. It was a goal from Jermaine Beckford. Now, Marcelo Bielsa, he's actually a very, very good coach. Got a decent pedigree behind him. He did used to manage in Argentina. And Leeds have got some good players that could cause us some problems on Sunday. Obviously, they've got Patrick Bamford. He's one of Leeds United's best players. They got Bamford from Middlesbrough. They've also got Diego Llorente. He's good. He was out of injury earlier on this season. Leeds got him last year. Leeds have also got Rodrigo. Leeds got him last year. I think they got him in a deal worth £27 million. He's actually been out with injury. Rafinha's also very good for Leeds. Leeds got him last year. He's out with injury at the moment. Leeds got Robin Koch last year. They've got that Helder Costa. They've got him permanently now, but at one point they did have him on loan. They got him from Wolves. Stuart Dallas, he's also very, very good for Leeds. Malioski and Ayling are good. That Tyler Roberts looks a pretty good player. Leeds have got Forshaw. He's out with injury, but he doesn't really get in Leeds' team anyway. They've got Pablo Hernandez. He hasn't been getting in their team a lot recently. Jack Harrison's quite good. Liam Cooper's good. Calvin Phillips is also good as well. So there you go. We've done business with Leeds before. Many years ago, we got Rio Ferdinand off them. We also got Eric Cantona off them. And don't forget, Alan Smith left Leeds for Man United a long time ago. But I am really, really looking forward to the game. After Leeds, we do play Roma in the Europa League semi-final first. Hopefully the game will go ahead. Because there's actually been talks with this, European Super League season that Man United and Man City's Europe semi-finals could be cancelled. Like I've said in regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he is our best manager since Ferguson. Because I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made progress in certain aspects. I presume there's a lot of Manchester United fans that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. But there's actually been a lot of United fans demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out. They've obviously got main explanations why they want him out. But he has been criticised a lot as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer knows how imperative the Europa League is. Because, Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017. But it's been made clear, even if we fail to win the Europa League this season, Solskjaer will still be Manchester United manager in the summer, and he'll be Man United manager next season. Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now over 2 years. Reflecting now on his been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job. He's tried a few different elements, such as different formations. He's rotated the squad a lot. Yeah, I do have my concerns about Ollie. You know, my two biggest concerns about him is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, but that doesn't mean he can't succeed as Man United manager. And his decision making also concerns me because in a lot of his games at Man United, he has been tactically naive. But there again, there's been some games where he's showed tactical flexibility, but he's got to show tactical flexibility persistently. But there is lots of positives regarding Solskjaer. You know, we have enjoyed very good periods under him, where we have seen consistency, and in some of them good periods, he's got the best out of the team. You know, we are sitting second in the Premier League. At one point, he got us top of the Premier League. That's obviously, you know, when we had a really good chance of the Premier League, but we enjoyed a very bad period. We've got a very, very good away record. We are unbeaten in our last 23 Premier League away games, so we haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. I also like the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has promoted the youth. He seems to have a lot of trustworthy in his young players, which is good. You know, he's got us to the Europa League semi-final, got us to the FA Cup quarter-final this season, got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season. Went on a 14-game unbeaten run before Leicester beat us in the FA Cup quarter-final. You know, Solskjaer last season, which was his first full season, he got us a third place finish and he guided us to 3 semi-finals and got us qualification for the Champions League. By the way, it's 5 semi-finals now in total under Ole, but I hope Solskjaer can get to his first major final as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer has made good signings as Man United manager. He's spent almost £300 million and so far he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. Hasn't got all the players that he wanted to recommend in as yet, but hopefully that all changes in the summer transfer window. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. And he's beaten some big name managers as Man United manager. So there are the positives regarding Ole. I can assure Solskjaer is not the long-term manager for Man United. So I'll stick to what I said on my other videos. But our board believe he is a long-term manager for Man United because it said earlier on this season that Solskjaer has agreed a new 3-year contract worth 30 million. I think Solskjaer still has like a year left on his current 3-year contract. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018. You know, he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We give Solskjaer the job permanently a couple of years ago, reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. When we appointed Solskjaer in, he knew it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. When Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. Don't forget, Ole is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. We've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. That was David Moyes. We sacked him after 10 months. He's the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. That's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield, if you want to count that. And Mourinho also got us second. So you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United, but the main explanations it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players, and in general the board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in. But in the last 8 years, we haven't only had different managers with different philosophies, have we? You know, we've overpaid for players. In general, our recruitment's been poor, and in that aspect, the blame stems from the board because I've said before that the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for a while. This is why a lot of Man United fans have been critical of the board. We've spent over £1 billion on players, you know. In general, mistakes have been made in the last 8 years, and that's why we haven't been as consistent as we'd like to have been. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. You know, that's 8 years ago now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware how big this year's summer transfer window is going to be for him and Manchester United in general. I'm expecting Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window, and I've already identified the areas in the squad where we need to strengthen up. There was reports coming out earlier on this season saying that Man United will spend big, but Solskjaer did mention that he wants to keep transfer dealings quiet. Ollie did warn earlier on this season that we may not do business as usual due to this coronavirus pandemic, but he said he's interested in bringing in players that will be a perfect fit for the club. Solskjaer should get a very, very good backing in the summer transfer window, because obviously Woodward is standing by Solskjaer and he believes he's the right man to lead the club forward, and plus we've got John Murtagh, he's our director of football. And it was the right decision by the club getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes that we needed. And obviously we've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. But in the summer transfer window, we're going to focus on the incomings and the outgoings, aren't we? Now, there's a lot of players that Man United are looking at. You already know the news on Raphael Varane from Real Madrid. Now, it recently said that we face competition for Raphael Varane, because Bill's Christian Falk said that Chelsea have entered the race for Raphael Varane. So reflects on that, Chelsea are looking to hijack our move. Reports from Spain said quite a few days ago now that Man United were in advanced talks with Raphael Varane. And reflects on that, it said Varane's move to Man United is close. Real Madrid's asking price is £60 million, but we hope to lower Real Madrid's £60 million asking price. Raphael Varane is ready to leave Real Madrid in the summer. Now, the Spanish transfer expert Eduardo Inda said earlier on this season that Raphael Varane could be on his way to Man United in the summer. Raphael Varane's contract talks with Real Madrid have stalled. There's no signs of Raphael Varane whatsoever signing a new contract. There was narratives coming out earlier on this season saying that Real Madrid are prepared to sell Raphael Varane on one condition: he must inform Real Madrid on his decision to leave. Just see me back my life, it's 19%. Back in 2018, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move for Raphael Varane. But the main explanations I'd take him at Manchester United is because he's a world-class centre-half, he's highly experienced, he's 27 years of age, and he'd complement Harry Maguire in our back line, definitely. And he'd exceed expectations in the Premier League. Varane has endured 10 years at Real Madrid, so he's been a long servant. Good pedigree as a player, because he's won 18 major honours and he's made over 300 appearances. Real Madrid paid €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. But there's been quite a few centre-halves we've been looking at. It said the other week that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had drawn up a 6-man centre-back shortlist. You know the news on Declan Rice from West Ham. Narratives came out not so long ago saying that Declan Rice is interested in joining Manchester United. Apparently Declan Rice asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford. And West Ham are demanding £100 million. I think that's too much for Declan Rice, even though I think Declan Rice is a very, very good player. He said earlier on this season that Solskjaer agreed with our recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing for the club. I reckon he's worth from between 50 to 60 million. But the main explanations I'd take him at Man United is because he's well proven in the Premier League, still young, got a lot of development in him, and he's predominantly a holding midfielder, and Man United need a holding midfielder. But there again, Declan Rice can be deployed as a centre-half. He's been at West Ham now like 7 years, and he's under contract at West Ham until 2024. You know the news on Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona? It said not so long ago that Man United are one of the favourites. To sign Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. And we are ahead of Liverpool in the race. Barcelona would accept around 43.3 million. Now, obviously, last year we wanted to get Ousmane Dembele on loan with the option to buy. Obviously, our wishes didn't materialise. Says earlier on this season we'd been dealt a blow in our chase for Ousmane Dembele because he said that he's likely to stay at Barcelona, and Ronald Koeman said he hopes Ousmane Dembele stays. And he says Barcelona were willing to offer him a 3-year contract. Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist and close to Man United, he confirmed that Ousmane Dembele was set for contract talks with Barcelona. Barcelona got him in a deal worth 135 million. They paid like 97 million pounds up front, rest was in add-ons. He struggled with injuries at Barcelona, so reflecting on that, he's injury prone. He's got like 14 months left on his current contract, but before he was at Barca, he was at Dortmund, he was good there, and before Dortmund he was at Rennes, and he was quite good at Rennes. And you obviously know the news on Jadon Sancho and Erling Haaland. We've been in for them two for a long time now. So yeah. Like I've said to you, quite a few players are going to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Looks very, very likely that Edinson Cavani is going to be leaving. I give you the news on Edinson Cavani this morning. It says that Edinson Cavani has made his transfer decision. According to multiple reports from South America, Edinson Cavani has informed Manchester United that he is leaving at the end of the season. Martial, a lot of Man United fans are saying that we need to offload him in the summer transfer window because he's no longer good enough to represent Man United and he's been out of form for the vast majority of this season. Good chance we'll offload Juan Mata. We could offload Donny van der Beek because he's not getting enough opportunities at the club. Matic, we could offload him. Pogba could still leave, but I don't want him to leave in the summer transfer window because he brings creativity to the team. Phil Jones, I want him to leave. Romero, I presume he'll leave as well. De Gea could be sold. I reckon he's had his years now at Man United. Diego Dalot, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. So yeah. But we sell players in the summer transfer window, will generate money, and that will help us with our rebuilding process. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.